Hey traders, John Howell here. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to do a bit of a silver and gold update for you guys. You know what time it is. It's silver and gold time. Plus I'm going to look at the silver and gold stocks, the miners and so on and so forth in this here and give you a real picture of what's really going on right now. Guys, let's get straight into it. Guys, do not play today based on what you're seeing in this video. You know trading is risky. Trying to pick tops and bottoms and trying to be right with the market is a very, very risky thing. Remember, you don't have to be right to be rich in investing. You just have to know exactly what you look for. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So let's get straight into what's happening right now on the markets. Guys, I had so much flack for my video yesterday. I said there's a lot of bearish tones in the markets right now when it comes to silver and gold. And it's it's got a lot of bearish tones, and it looks like we're going to see some more downside to come. And then because we had a very big update, especially on silver, right? Silver, real big update on silver. People are like, and then everything came out. I'm like, I could insert many adjectives right now to that, but I don't care. Let's go have a look at what's happening with silver and gold right now. Has things really changed with silver and gold? I've been very bearish on the markets right now. Now remember, the foundations to a successful trader is a successful trader. One, he doesn't try to be right with the market. But secondly, he flows with the market. It's not about being right and wrong. If you think you're trying to be right with the market and I was wrong and you're right and all this sort of crap, throw that ego out the window, because the market won't respect that ego whatsoever. I guarantee that. So with that being said, let's go have a look at gold. So what's happened with gold right now? On the short term with gold, what do we see here? On the last couple of months, we can see what? We can see how this very short term level right through here has actually found a bit of a support, hasn't it? There's a bit of support and resistance, and actually had a lot of problems through there, and now we're breaking back up. So we're creating like a bit of a higher high, came back down, a little higher low, and a big up candle. So has things really changed? Let me go have a look at this here. Just the reason why I'm looking at this G or D price for a minute here is I'm trying to see the volume. I don't get any volume on this chart here, so I'm trying to get a volume. A little bit of volume, not massive volume, is there? A little bit of volume. So let's go back to here. Right, so we can see what's happening right now, can't we? This is the short-term picture. It's having a little higher low. But remember, small picture, big picture, small picture, big picture. And it's important to keep both in mind when we're looking at these markets. So what we see right now, let's go have a look at, say, the 6-month view. What is the 6-month view telling us? Now, forget these trend lines for a minute. The 6-month view is telling us what? We had this big, strong leg down, and now we're just creating a little slight upward movement. Now, if you're comparing legs, guys, this is very, very important, right? Everything's about momentum in the market. If you're comparing legs in the market, if you look this leg here and this leg here, which one's more dominant out of these legs here? The sellers, right? Now, that's what you call strength in moves, or where is the overall momentum still in these markets. So you want to be very, very careful. One, try to pick the market day by day by day. No one can do that. You know, not even the most successful hedge fund manager on the planet, Ray Dalio or Warren Buffett or any of those matters. So don't try and pick the exact. Don't try to be right the next day and all that sort of stuff, or be right with the markets. Respect the market. So what's happening right now? We're getting just really a bit of a side. Everything's just really sideways, isn't it? We had a bit of an update on gold, but what's really happening here? Just really sideways. And as you can see, we got really sideways through here, and then a big drop down. If I bring up, say, a 12-month view on the actual charts itself, you actually can see that we did have this long-term trend line down through here, as you can see. And once we actually broke back above that, guess what? Now we started this very short-term upward trend, didn't we? So you can see we're getting a bit of a short-term little, say, channel in place, aren't we? Through there, and then I'd just have to say there's probably a bit of a channel happening through there as well too. So you can see we're actually at a bit of resistance through here, aren't we? Like a bit of a short-term upward channel. So that's what we're seeing there right now on the short-term chart, aren't we? We're seeing all that coming right now on that short-term chart on this big here. So let's go have a look at now, and let's look at, say, the 2 years worth of data. Yeah, look at this big strong leg down, guys, and this weaker leg up. When you're looking at remember, the charts is basically human psychology. And if you're looking at the human psychology, which one's more dominant, the buyers or the sellers? Obviously the sellers, right? We're just getting a little short-term upward move here. So they get your pennies in a bunch. Let's go have a look at that long-term chart right now. So this long-term gold chart, once again, what's happening right now? Who is stronger out of these two legs? Strong sellers, weaker buyers, okay? Now, it doesn't mean, remember, we're looking at the weekly chart right now. So day by day by day, it could go up, it could go down, it go up, it go down. Who knows, right? Who knows? But what's happening right now on this daily chart? Well, firstly, let me actually remove this trend line here. Let remove this trend line here. Let remove this trend line here. And let remove this trend line here. Why? Because now we're going to see where the market is really at. See, right now, this level through here, right? This is around, say, 1,240 level. That level, that area there is what I call X marks the spot. Now, what is that X marks the spot? Well, long term, remember, the long term is what the big guys are really thinking and feeling. And you don't want to be fighting that. Okay, remember, everything's about probability, guys, not certain. There is no certainty in a trade. There is no guarantees in a trade. So how do we stack the odds on our side of being, of generating a profitable trade? Makes sense? So right now, what are we seeing here? We see that this whole level through back here, this whole area back here, see how that was a major support level? Look how it's actually respecting it. So it's actually already respected, hasn't it? Last week, it ran up and actually hit that level and then came back down. But what else is actually happening here? What is this blue line here? I wonder what that blue line is. Let me actually bring up a bit more of a longer term view here on this weekly chart. So we're looking at maybe, that was say 1 year worth of data, very short term. And now we're looking at what? Now we're looking at say a couple of years or no, about 4 or 5 years worth of data. And as you can see, right, you can see how this level through here, let's get that off there. Let me get that off through there. Let's go back to here. As you can see, we had this support. We had this support. Now, as you know, right, support once broken now becomes what? Resistance. So now we're at that level through there. So there's two things that can happen through here. One, the overall gold chart starts to roll over here. Now, not every single day is going to roll over. Not every day is going to be down day. When I say that, guys, you know that, right? Be smart about the way you're looking at the markets. I don't care about you being right. All I care about is what you've done over the last 20 trades. That's what it's all about. It's not about doing well on one trade. So when looking at this here, as you can see, right, in resistance. So this is now likely to be resistance. So where we're at right now, there's either two things that can happen. It can go up or down. No, duh, John. Tell me something new. Listen here, chinga, 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 chong, chong, bong, bong, bong. Listen here. That's for your old school people, by the way. For you new people that have been following me, what the hell is this guy on? So, right now we know this is what we call X marks the spot, right? Where we have this support line through here, and we have this support now resistance line, horizontal and 45-degree angle. We're at that level through there. So if this market does hold through here, and let me actually bring up this daily chart right now. And let me bring up a bit more of a short-term chart. So we can see them side by side, can't we now? The daily chart to the left and the weekly chart to the right. So now we can see what? Now we can see the markets at this level 3 here. We can see what's happening here. We get a little short-term bounce, aren't we? Now the question is, has gold got enough strength to break through resistance? I don't know. No one knows. But once certain things happen, then we can start to see. So if we start to get like a nice strong break above this 1200 level, well, guess what? Then now that's actually a very strong break. And then yes, over the short term, we could see gold then rally back up to around about this resistance and support level, back up to here, say 1300 level. We could see a nice rally back up to that strong level through there. But if it holds and we start to get a break back below this level through here, then new lows are coming for, below 1800. So it depends on what actually happens through here. Do we get a nice solid close back above this level through here? If so, then we're probably likely to go for a nice run. Not every day, guys. Be smart. John, you didn't get it right. Today it went down. I don't care about being right. I just want to trade well. So that's what we're seeing there. So you see how I've broken that down with gold, right? Let's go do the exact same thing with silver. Get ready for your little pennies in a bunch. Oh my goodness, look at silver. It took off. Oh my goodness, big up bar. It's the bottom of the market. Let's go under the moon. Really? Let's have a look, right? Let's have a look at what is actually happening right now on this silver chart. Firstly, what happened? What's going on right now? We had a little support through here, and then we had a big up bar. Is that going to follow through? I don't know about you guys, but if you understand silver, if you've been trading silver now for quite some time, it's a bit of a wildcat, right? It may look like it's breaking out, looks like it's about to take off, and something gets slammed again. That's why it's so important to keep an eye on that big picture as well too. But short term, what's happening right now? Short term, we're still what? We're still just stuck in this overall short term channel, aren't we? See, support and resistance through there. And there's obviously a big whole wedge still happening, right? So we're still stuck in this range here. Is it going to break up and break above? Well, no one knows about that. Let's actually see what actually happens. So that's the short-term picture. And this is all that most people just focus on. Oh, this is the short-term picture. This is what the short-term picture is doing, John. And remember, the forest from the trees. So let's go have a look at the 6-month view now. And let's go and see what the 6-month view. What is the 6-month view telling us? Has things really changed? Let's look at this here. We had this strong leg down, and now we've got what? Just a sideways movement, haven't we? Yes, we had a big up candle. Don't try to be right every single day. Have a plan. You can do this. So, throw your ego out the window, right? That ego, the market says, I didn't give a shit about your ego. So, right now we're seeing this bit of a short term here, aren't we? Let's go say to the 1 year worth of data. What is this 1 year worth of data saying? Big, strong leg down and a sideways movement. Is it going to break up and continue up? Who knows? We don't know, right? But let's go now have a look at what? That good old weekly chart. What is that good old weekly chart still saying? Well, short term, what is it saying? Short term, we're getting what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, when we're looking at the strength and move, remember, the charts are a simple representation of what the human and the psychology is of the markets. Let's look at the strength in moves. Who is stronger? Stronger in the markets. Is it this move here? Or is it this move here? If you looked at the last 2 legs, who is stronger in the markets? Obviously sellers, right? So as you can see, this last 4 months, or sorry, 4 weeks, this last month or so has been what? Just sideways in the market, hasn't it? Just really sideways. So the overall movement in what is happening in silver and gold right now, the actual silver and gold, the overall movement is nothing has changed from the big picture, has it? So you always want to, that's where it's so important. Big picture, small picture, big picture, small picture. Because if you're not trading with that big picture, 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you that's where you're going wrong in the markets. And that's if you try. Remember, guys, if you think about the big picture, the weekly chart is like a tide, right? It's like the tide. And if you're trying to fight against the tide, then that's like you're trying to fight against that weekly chart. Just ask anyone who's been trying to Bitcoin, who's been trying to buy Bitcoin for the last 12 months. That thing just keeps getting lower and lower and lower. Respect the market. Let's go have a look at, this is the last, say, 12 months. Let's go have a look at the last sort of couple of years worth of data here, okay? So no, for the last 4 or 5 years worth of data here. So what's actually going on here? You know what? Let me actually bring this chart up through here. Just a blank chart, so we can actually really see what's going on, and then we can see what's happening through here. So firstly, what do we see here? Firstly, we know we had this big what? What do we have here? And this is the reason why, guys, that's what I'm about to point to you is the reason why you should respect the weekly chart. Look at this here. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. You know what, guys? I really thought there's so many people out there saying this is going to be the bottom, and there's so many people buying it here right now, and there's the commercial and the traders are really short right now in this markets right now, and the hedge funds are more bullish right now, and blah 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 blah, and all these fundamentals why silver should go up, and it went down. If you guys have been through this, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's like, truth is truth. What was the truth? Lower high, lower high, lower high. Break out the previous lows. Oh, we go for a run. So the market's having a little bit of run up through here. So right now, nothing has changed short term on this chart. We have a little bit of support where we are actually a little bit of resistance where we are right now. Let me remove that there because that's nothing there. And let me remove this one down here because that's really nothing there as well too. And let's look at this overall picture here from what we can see here, right? We can see what we have a look through here. Let's go back to, say, the last couple of years worth of data. And what do we see through here? We see what? We see a nice big run up, and we see this market compressing down, compressing down, compressing down, compressing down, and then a big strong leg down. Look at this weak move up. Don't tell me that's a bottom in the markets, because if you do, I guarantee you, if you see this pattern, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be a bottom. To me, I'd rather trade the, if it's 9 times out of 10, it's likely to be a continuation pattern, I'd rather trade the odds. Doesn't matter me being right or wrong. Anyway, I don't trade just because I think it's a good bottom or think it's a good time. I trade when my plan is on the markets. And then I do these YouTube videos to have fun with you guys. So, and also to teach you guys what I'm looking at here, right? So the forest from the trees, right? When you're looking at this big, strong move down. Now remember, we just spent all this time going sideways. What generally happens when the market goes sideways? We have a big run in the markets, don't we? We just had a very first leg down, very strong sellers, weak buyers, okay? Now, yes, anything could happen, anything could change. If the market starts to be very bullish, especially if silver holds here right now, and we do rally back above this 1550 level, back above 1616 level. If that happens, guess what? Then yes, this here could be a whole severe bottom in the markets, and then we could start to see this happening, right? But that's the if scenario, right? That's not what's happening right now. What's happening right now? Strong sellers, weak buyers. Before you go, make sure you grab the free Grab the Markets by the Balls training course. In this training course, you're going to learn the top 13 deadly mistakes, the success formula, charting boundaries, the PT method, the ultimate trading system, the blast off trading system, #1 in trading indicator, the $1 million trade and money management, how successful traders approach the market, and so much more. Get this training course for free right now. Click on the very first link in the description to get this whole complete trading course to give you the edge on your side of trading this market. Do that right now, and I'll see you on the other side.